Hey everyone. So it's kind of early. It's like, I guess it's early for normal people. I don't know. Team awkward sleep. Shit, I don't even be knowing. And as soon as I record this, I'm like getting messages from my homegirl. I hope she's doing well. Girl, I love you too. Okay, okay. So, I kind of wanted to, it's so funny because she's a psychic too. I wanted to talk to everyone about something I feel like gets mentioned a lot in like videos, readings, all this spiritual stuff that I'm sure y'all have read, seen, whatever the fuck. And forgive my ratchet ass neighborhood right now. It's discernment. Right? Right. I'm over here probably like canceling myself by telling y'all this shit, but I don't care. One of the things that I've noticed is that a lot of people kind of have this televangelist style of doing readings or giving people information, and it's kind of like they breadcrumb a lot of people. And like, I'm not naming names, I'm not shitting on like anyone in particular, I'm shitting on the whole system. So, take away from that what you will. But I do want to say that like I'm not no shots fired at anybody. I understand people got to eat or get paid and stuff like that. But one of the things and one of the reasons why I actually record videos is for y'all. If I was concerned about everyone else, then I would be doing this shit. I actually care about, people going on their spiritual journeys, whatever that may be. And so I did want to kind of, discuss that. Just because I feel like, I was doing some Googles and shit. There's not a lot of information out there on how to use your discernment, which BT dubs, let's get into, okay? So, discernment. What is discernment? It's basically your ability to judge. So it's something that you use every day, all the time. Some people kind of freak out about their ability to use their judgment. That is okay. It's something you develop. It's something that you use. Animals use it all the time. Like, a dog will like discern how hard or like how much power you have to put into jumping up onto the couch or some shit. It's something, it's so normal. It's so everyday. It's such a part of who you are that it's like, if you can kind of understand that like your ability to judge is also tied into your intuition, that, you'll feel more confident in the choices that you make. Just in terms of like when you're reading a horoscope or you're watching a video, when you're deciding to turn left instead of right. Sometimes people live too much in their analytical side or too much in their floaty side, and they run around, don't know what the fuck they do. So, right. Yeah, I'm like that too sometimes. I know I'm a little all over the place in these videos, but trust and believe your girl got sense. Let's kind of get started. It's mostly that, I guess in terms of getting started, I kind of want to just get into like tips or just information, stuff like that for you, I'm looking at my notes right now, and just being awkward. Just BT-dubs like, y'all, the shit, I was born awkward. I'm a fucking die awkward. I'll turn into a star and still be awkward. Like literally off into space. I know homegirl from Avatar turned into the moon. I'm gonna just turn into a star. It ain't that deep. But I'm out. Anyway. Let's get into these tips. I'm like all over the place. I'm like extra coffeeed right now. Yeah, I know, shit. And I used to work in customer support, so you just know my ass is on the phone. Anyway, I guess that ties into what I do now. Okay, all right. Which I realize you can kind of see my altar and all the stuff, sort of all the stuff up here. So if you have a question about anything, feel free to leave me a comment or contact me, and I'll try to answer the question about the thing as best as I can. And yes, I have a protection candle popping because it is what it is. Okay, so let's get into it. So kind of like how you make decisions, because that's before we even get into you reading spiritual stuff or taking advice or accepting advice. One thing that you should do is that you should have a greater understanding of how you make decisions. So this is like, for some people, they're more intellectual about it. Other people, they feel more through it. Some people, it's a balance. Some people, they got their ways of making decisions. So you need to kind of understand what it looks like for you and how it feels. One thing that is a great example, and what I try to tell people, is think about like physically how you feel when you like know you're gonna have a good day and then the good things happen. and then like what happens with the day. So this is going to involve some journaling, especially if you're trying to sort of get into like feeling your intuition and feeling those parts of yourself. You want to start journaling and kind of figuring out, okay, what does it feel like when, you know, like you get, like, you go on a job interview, right? But like, you know, that morning you wake up and normally you're nervous, but you're like, no, I'm calm, I'm chill, I feel it, I already know it's about to happen. So that's one thing that, like, you know, you want to get into. The same thing goes with like something negative as well. I know that, like, I try not to really dwell too much on negative stuff, but hell, one thing that they don't tell you is that when you get warnings, sometimes that shit doesn't feel good and people automatically want to assume it's some evil shit, and it's not. It'll end up being like, you know, it could be from spirit where you just get a message or a warning. You're like, no, let me not do that shit today. Like, and that's one of those things that you have to kind of get into and understand. So you really want to get into it and not even be afraid really of, what you're going to experience and what you are experiencing. So number one is getting into that, and just kind of like getting to know that part of yourself. One of the second things is like, you gotta understand that at the end of the day, you are the deciding factor. You know, there's just information out there in general, period, on all kinds of topics and shit. There's all kinds of people out here speaking on shit. And it's like, you know, so you have a lot of options for things and what you want to think about and what you want to kind of like focus on. And so because of that, you really want to build your confidence in yourself and your ability to make decisions. This is in your everyday life. This is with everything. Like when you think about like the choices you made and stuff like that, you just want to kind of list or look into all of the great choices you've made, or all of those ways in which like maybe you followed your intuition or followed yourself and gotten to a good place. Where even if it's something little, on the flip, because this happened to me too, you know, shit, if I've been right, I've for sure been wrong. And so, you also want to think about like, when have you maybe denied yourself or your intuition where you knew you should have done something and you didn't? And it's not in like a salty sort of way where you're just like, damn, I'm pissed shit didn't work out. No. You kind of want to look into like, okay, why did I do these things? Was it because I was afraid to make this certain choice? Was it because something told me like, oh shit, nah, this is not a good look? What was it? And so, you know, you just want to kind of get into that. That way you can understand like what not to do next time. Because that's always important. It's like, don't do the same silly shit and then be mad at like who are you gonna be mad at? You, yourself. Or as I say, I can only be mad at my dumbass self. I don't think I'm dumb. I think I'm smart, you know, but I just, you know, sometimes when, you know, you don't listen to your smart half, then what are you, a dumbass? Sorry, you know, if that hurt your feelings, maybe that was for you, person. Be smarter. I'm just joking. What else? So yeah, I guess that's it in terms of just getting started or looking into yourself. I'm sure I will come up with more stuff, answer more questions and stuff like that. And of course, this is all based on my personal experience, but just everyone that I know in terms of like people having abilities and stuff like that, that like, it is what it is. It's a very solo journey. You'll find some general information on things, but that's about it. One last thing that I really want to discuss is the concept of psychic abilities. Most people understand that like all the different clairsentient, clairaudient, yada 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 yada, bunch of shit, right? So, but there's like, I guess like the main like 5 or so. There are way more abilities than that. Some people can feel the weather change and like tell the future. Other people can look at some birds and know what's up, or look at the sky, or smell something and they know what's going on. So you don't, definitely, and with that being said, because all of these things are so different, it's very unique, just like every person is unique. You can have people in your family who maybe have a talent or a gift and you have it one too, but it's different. It manifests differently. So, you know, that's another thing as well. Don't really sweat how it comes in. If you do that, you'll probably totally miss developing your talents. Also, those things can change. They can develop. They can go in and out. They can all stay present. It just really depends on who you are and kind of what your experience is. So again, it's different for everyone. If someone is telling you it needs to be a certain way, be wary of them. And with that, I'm going to move into my next topic. Okay. Now, we're going to go on to, I guess, you know, I said I was going to shit on like just the concepts of things, but not necessarily any people. That's fairly accurate. So I did kind of want to just get into some tips on kind of like using your discernment when you are receiving advice from someone like me. And I say this because even though, like, you know, I read and stuff like that, and it's always kind of been a thing for me, I'm still a consumer. I still watch videos. I like to see the kind of discussions that people have. I also think it's important to kind of empower people enough to make the right choices for themselves. I also believe that, you know, putting y'all on or whatever is not going to diminish me as someone. And I also have other skills that go outside of the stuff I do on YouTube. So y'all girl not pressed. But with that being said, I want to get into tips about sort of, watching these videos, receiving advice, and kind of understanding how to work through the information that you're getting, okay? So the first one is getting to know the person who is providing the information for you. What I don't mean is getting to know their personal business. People are allowed to be private, have privacy and shit like that. So I don't want you to think that I'm saying get in their business. But what I am saying is that you kind of want to pay attention to the kind of information that they share. If they have a YouTube channel, you just want to kind of look into how they interact with people, how they deliver their message, how consistent they are, and kind of, you know, just you want to see how compatible you are with this person on an energetic level. So, you know, like I said, some people have different ways of doing things. Some people have different talents. Some people even use different mediums and shit like that. So, you know, you really want to decide if you want to receive guidance from this person. Okay? So that's number one. And again, that goes back to you being able to decide. And also remember, at any point in time, you can choose not to take someone's advice. And that's something that you want to pay attention to. So at any point in time, remember, it can be in the middle of the video. They make you uncomfortable, turn that shit off. In the middle of reading an article, that shit make you uncomfortable, bye, you know. You can cut it off because it's a lot of advice. And you want to always be in control of the information that you're taking in, okay? So, number two. Sometimes I get it. It don't matter, y'all. It don't fucking matter. The second step is that it might not resonate. And by that I mean, like, the reading might not hit. Sometimes it hits, right? Sometimes it does not hit at all. It happens. It happens. In my experience, typically a private reading, like, I love all feedback, period. So, like, I do love all feedback. It doesn't always have to be positive. But it's good to know going into these things that, like, the reading may not resonate, especially if you're watching a video online. This is just, like, these are, I guess, 2 points, but I'm going to start off with this one. So it's more so that it's, like, think about it this way. I'm purely a numbers game when it comes to energy. You can do a general reading, and I do general readings as well, but my readings are intended for the people who are going to see the video. So actually don't think about a person or anything like that. It goes a little bit deeper than that, but the point is that it's supposed to be general, okay? So depending on how many people watch the video, how many people have access to the video, and the frame of mind of the person doing the reading, it can be low-key impossible for it to just fully hit for you. There are other times, though, where that shit will snap hella hard. So it just really depends. But you want to understand that it's like a really take it or leave it sort of situation. And you want to always be able to decide or to look at it and go, does this apply to me? Does this, like, not apply to me? So that is something that you want to consider and be aware of. Just because, you know, you always want to keep your head, even when you're getting advice from someone who has, like, the ability to go to the spiritual plane, I guess. I don't know. I'm a little more practical with it in terms of how I discuss things, but you know, I believe in that stuff. I got look at me, I got all this shit in the back. That's, you know, I got allergies. Anyway, step 3 is really be careful. Like, again, this is with the other stuff. You really want to be careful with the information that you're being provided, whether it be sort of a really sensational title for something, information that's very polarizing. Like, some topics are polarizing, but you want to make sure that there's always balance represented. So this is just like when you were in school and they're like, evaluate your sources. You want to evaluate them. You also want to see if something is created for an end. So in other words, you want to make sure that, you know, we all put our stuff on the internet. It is for entertainment. It is so people can get to know us. It is so people can receive messages. So it's all those things. It's also a way to advertise the fact that you do what you do. There is nothing wrong with that. So it's like, if people are working on paid platforms and stuff like that, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying anything is wrong with that. So get that straight, because some people, you know, want to shit on folks who are getting paid for doing their readings. That's not right. I'm more so saying that, like, if you are watching a video, for example, and someone's like, get more info on the extended reading, and then you have to pay for that shit to get the rest of the message, that's super weird. Like, it's super weird, y'all. I'm sorry. The first video was already free. Why can't the extra 30 seconds, 2 minutes? It don't make no sense. And I say that because, again, they could just say, if you want additional content, go to my Patreon or whatever. And so you want to be aware of that. Most of us are not going to cut off a message just to get, like, the squeeze on you. Yeah, for real, right? Sounds really weird, but, like, when have you ever been like, I'm gonna walk you halfway across the street and then turn around and walk the fuck away because I didn't give you $1? Like, it's weird. No one does that in real life. And so you want to apply these real life things to when you're taking on this information. The other thing is, you want to be aware of how many views or how popular something is. If you notice that someone was doing a bunch of reads out of general and shit, and then and they're hitting for you, and then suddenly they're making different content and their views shoot up, and it's because of certain topics or keywords and shit like that. You want to be aware of that. Again, everyone wants to be noticed. They want to be paid. They want all these things to happen. But you got to understand that some media is created in order to go viral. And so again, the messages may hit, but the title may be written in such a way to grab people's attention. And maybe they want to grab a lot of people's attention. It may apply for you, but you want to, you know, keep, you know, stay woke on that shit. I don't know. It's just, see how I'm trying to stay cool with it. All right. What's the other one? Also, again, back to numbers. If a video has like 300,000 views on it, come on, that shit probably don't hit. I'm sorry. It could. But if it's something wild, like, if it's something wild, like you about to win the lotto and your lost love coming back and you about to get a dog, well, actually all that shit could happen. But I'm just saying, if it's like really wild shit that you know not gonna happen, it's like you gonna leave the country and like we all banned in terms of leaving. Come on now. So, with that being said, just want to move on to that point. Again, I just want to double back and say, people creating content, putting it on a paid platform, there's nothing wrong with that. I do get a little sketched out, though, when people are saying, you know, to get the rest of this message, you're going to have to pay me. That shit's weird. And with that being said, if you truly do want to know more and you really rock with that person and you would like to work with them, consider, instead of paying for extended videos or memberships, consider paying them for a private reading. Yeah, like they can make your own video, or like I typically will I like to do readings live with people, just because it tends to work for me, and it tends to hit. But I think that if you really want more information and you're not at that place where you can look into things on your own, that consider reaching out to them and doing a private reading, and have some sense, be polite. they're doing a service for you. They are busy people. So like, you know, no coming at them crazy. Otherwise, like, they don't have to read for you. They ain't got to do it. No one's making them. And then I think there's 2 more steps after this. I know this video long as fuck, y'all, but I'm putting you on. Aren't you excited? Number 4 is no solicitation. Again, we all advertise. You know, someone being outside with a sign, someone having a storefront, someone making videos, or people even telling people like, hey, you know, I do tarot readings, or I do this, or, you know, I'm a medium, or whatever the fuck. There's nothing wrong with that, but more so, solicitation is kind of the issue. I've actually had people hit me up on like one of my private accounts and to solicit me to like do a ritual for me and some other shit. And again, there's nothing wrong with doing rituals, practices, stuff like that. Everyone has different practices. I am not saying anything negative about anyone's faith or practice or anything like that. So again, that's not how I rock. I kind of keep my own beliefs to myself just because I want people to make their own decisions. But yeah, people shouldn't be soliciting you or pressuring you in order to get the sale. Like, I don't know, you know what the fuck that's about. Like, I mean, again, they let you know that they're available, but they should not be sweating you in order to get you to do something. Like I said, I had someone who was trying to press me about doing a ritual for me. Solicitation. Yeah, long story short, I had this lady hit me up talking about some ritual or some shit. And I was like, yeah, girl, no. But first she was saying like how she wanted to do this thing for me, and there was a very long song and dance about like me, my purpose, my life, my this, my that. And I'm like, oh, tell me more. Just because I wanted to see kind of what the fuck her game was, because people are out here wilding right now, taking advantage of the fact that people are looking for guidance, looking for hope and stuff. So, she told me to see on this, and now like I have this great purpose and all this stuff and all that, but like a ritual needs to be done by a certain time, because if not, my whole life gonna be fucked up. What? No. So if someone's hitting you up saying some wild ass business like that, hit them with the block. Probably don't talk to them. Most people, if they got to tell you some shit, they'll just tell you and call it a done data and it's over. And they'll make themselves known. Not everyone is a teacher. Not everyone is, you know, going to be offering stuff for free. But most people who are going, if they feel compelled to do something for you, and if they are truly someone who is out here to do things for the world at large, if they claim to be a light worker or some type of healer or some type of person that's out here doing some shit, they will do it for you. If they need to ask for permission, they might ask for permission. But no one's gonna do that. And then also too, this lady was offering to do some shit and like didn't tell me anything about how she was gonna verify that it got done. Like that, it sounds dumb as hell. It just sounds like a poor way of advertising your business. With that being said, again, if people make products, like if people make like I've seen a lot of people make their own decks, that's cool. Buy it if you like it. What like there's nothing wrong with that, but you know, just be wary of someone trying to press you into doing shit. And then the last thing, if there's anything that comes out of this that I want you to do, want you to think about, is how you feel after whatever that session is with that person, okay? So if you are, you know, you should be feeling, you might not be happy with the shit you hear, trust, I'm not, you know, people ain't always happy with me. Or like the cards can be mean, they talk shit too. Or it's just like, you know, if you wanted to know about something, it tells you and it's just not what you wanted to hear, like that may happen. With that being said, you should feel informed, you should feel balanced. The person who's working with you should make it a point to not so much put you at ease, like put you at ease with the information that they've provided for you. They shouldn't be really pressuring you to make a decision. Most of us, unless it's just flat out like, yo, this person is going to try to fucking rob you, watch their ass. Because sometimes we get stuff like that. And if that's the case, they'll tell you, and like people will be flat out and saying like, no. But usually people will be very, very absolute about you doing something that's in your best interest. So someone's not going to tell you, quit your job and you don't have no money saved. Unless it's a situation where it's like damn near a violent environment, you know. But people are not going to tell you to fuck your life up. Like, no one is going to tell you to fuck your life up. Number one, be wary of any message that does tell you to fuck your life up. Be wary of any message that is offering to provide really deep or intimate information that you probably should not have. Right? So, and I've noticed this a lot in terms of just like a lot of love readings. That's kind of why I'm going to do more of that kind of stuff, because I do think it's cute and it's fun. And I think love is really great. Just in general, like the way I feel about love is like crazy. Like, you know, I love animals and stuff, all that. With that being said, there's a lot of toxicity surrounding the concepts of love. There's a lot of toxicity around these readings about like soulmates and all that stuff like that. And, while some of that information can be helpful, you know, I personally try to see working with energies just like working with other people. I'm not gonna go up in your house. I'm not gonna be going through your phone or no shit like that. I'm not trying to be in your relationships like that. I'm not trying to be in places that I shouldn't be in. And the same thing goes for energy. You should not feel comfortable reading into someone else's life. You shouldn't. In general, just on a boundaries level, that should not be something you do. But on an energetic and karmic level, like, I don't want that smoke. Like, I don't want that smoke. Not to say that I'm like just trying to be in somebody's shit anyway, but it's just not right. And so I think that, like, I understand how people can get when they want to know more information, or when they're, I guess, kind of like caught up and don't really know what's going on. Like, I understand the need to want to know things. But once you start getting into that kind of stuff, number one, if you're watching a video that got like 30,000 views and shit, it can't, like I said before, it might not hit for you. With that being said, it's just like, anyone willing to read into certain aspects of your life, like, I take that shit seriously in general. Last thing I want is for someone to walk away from a reading feeling like I pushed them into doing some shit. Like, nah. Whether it be for good or for bad, like, that pressure should not be there. But with that being said, if a video has hella shit in there, if someone's just saying wild things in the video, if they're gassing you up beyond belief in this video, is probably not a good thing. Same thing that goes in articles and other readings, but typically this is where the difference is that, like, in videos, they tend to be longer and stuff like that. So, and they'll be repetitive. So, you know, you definitely want to feel informed. You want to feel balanced. At the end of it. Or maybe you'll feel a little hopeful. Maybe you'll feel a little bit sad. But you should not just feel like lost after that, okay? You should not feel lost after seeking someone out for guidance. Paid or free or paid guidance. It does not matter. It does not matter. You should not feel like shit after. If you do, kitty. No, for real. Like, if you do though, if you feel that way, say no to it, just because it's probably not good or for you. Damn, that was really intense, right? That was super intense. Like, that's why I got the little spa music in the back on this one, because it was a lot, y'all. I know I was talking very fast. Hopefully I didn't stress anyone out kind of explaining all that stuff, because it was a lot. Hopefully you noticed there were timestamps in the description box for this video, because I wanted to cut through things that I know y'all ain't trying to hear all this goddamn talking. Like, especially when I ain't reading shit for you, right? Like, hopefully everyone has a better understanding of what, I guess, discernment is, your intuition, how to use your intuition, and how to, you know, evaluate the spiritual information that you're seeking out. You know, I don't want y'all to get played, whether it be on an energetic level or a financial level. We're not doing this, okay? So hopefully it's a great takeaway for everyone. If you have more questions, if I missed some shit, if you like the video, if you want to know more, definitely drop a comment, definitely subscribe. I'm going to be making more content. And, you know, you can hit me up on the social medias if you would like. Don't be rude. Don't be weird. Or you could be weird, but like, you know what I mean? Don't say some shit that's gonna make me uncomfortable. And if you don't understand what that line is or what those boundaries are, use your discernment on that one, okay? Yes, you're gonna use your best judgment. But thanks for watching, and I appreciate you. Have a good one, y'all. Bye.